Nobody knows what you all go through going through. Yeah. I don't think everything you that's worried about. No, but. I can talk about more. I got to know him for everything, so.
As of right now, we don't have any.
Don't have anybody? Okay, should make it a little easier, huh?
So. You should. Yeah.
Yes.
So. I don't think it's, you know, actually. Some people are. We did was that and that's what we're doing. I understand that. That's what it's not. Maybe we should have. That's good.
It's just, it's turned really good for health wise. You know, she's home. And she got home 3 weeks ago.
5 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock, turn it on.
We are online.
Perfect. All right, it is, November 19th, 2025, it's 5 o'clock. Call to order the meeting of the Board of Directors in Sandy Fire District. Let's start with pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any changes to the agenda?
So I do have some agenda changes, sorry. CFO Whitaker will not be here tonight, and Steve Dieters will give his portion.
Wow.
Big shoes to fill, literally.
Okay.
And then also I'm going to have, Captain Trevor Cooper, give an operational, a message, and we could probably, if it's dependent on you, we could add that as an R1A, or we could just have underneath my report, I give the report and then turn it over to him.
I think that would be just fine.
Okay, great. And then we have one additional small change. There's nobody here from a local 1159. So we can strike R1D.
Okay.
And R1E Volunteer Association report is gonna be from Phil Schneider.
Wow, okay. Oh, that's why it gets us at the table.
That's exactly it.
Like one of the big guys. Huh?
That's exactly it.
Nice.
So.
Great to have you here, Bill. Thank you. Okay, and we have no public, I understand, so we won't worry about that. Let's start with some of our last month's things, the approval of the minutes of the September 17th meeting. I'll give a motion to approve those minutes.
Can you make a motion to approve the board of directors meeting minutes from September 17, 2025?
Okay, there's a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, on to the October 15th one, which some of you don't know what we did there, but we you can accept them anyway. You have a motion to accept the minutes of the October 15th meeting. Yeah, since you were kind of there.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept those minutes.
Okay. And I think I'll second it since I was there. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, apparently we need to do election of officers, which I think we've been putting on for a couple of months here. Would someone else like to be chair of this group? I keep asking.
We think you do a what?
You do an amazing job.
You'd have to show up once in a while. Yeah, don't wanna go to Costa Rica anymore.
No,
No.
I think honestly, it's a good time to. I think speaking for everybody here is you always run a nice tight ship. You keep things on track. You do things by the law, which I probably.
Most of the time.
Which I don't think that the rest of us would do, but I always appreciate you guiding this every board meeting.
Well, it's not that so much, it's just that I'm one of the few people who can actually usually make it here, which is. I just leave my office and tell everybody it's too bad, guys, you're gonna have to do it yourselves, I'm leaving. All right, currently, let's see. You are the secretary and you are the vice president. Which one do you?
I think I was, I believe, but I'm not sure.
So,
That's how it's listed, but I thought it was wrong too.
I make a recommendation, keep it just as is.
I can look it up just a second.
Leave it as is.
Okay, so that was a motion.
I second that.
All right, all in favor, opposed? It's pretty easy these days. It's like this, I think we can all handle about a 15-minute meeting. Okay. Fortunately, I was hoping that this might be coming to an end, but that's not happening anytime soon.
It's good conversation.
Okay, well,
Good
let's,
conversation.
I would be looking forward to that. Now joint oversight committees. Okay.
We did have
We did prior to this.
yeah,
Oh, okay, all right.
Ryan, you want to summarize?
Why don't we?
Summary is that we're going to have a work session in December. We're gonna ask for a work session from our board members to try to figure out what we would like, how we'd like to proceed. Since that. If we want, when we want to proceed, like what election, and then also how we want to get there.
We do need to talk about that.
So I think it's gonna be a work session. I don't know. It's gonna be.
Okay, yeah. That sounds like a good idea. Do we want to try to set a time now?
I think so. The problem is making sure that all board members are gonna be there. I know
Yes.
that we have one, that's potentially not getting back to the week of the 15th. And so we're looking at a potential for, if we did it maybe the first week of December, that we could try to set up a Zoom link, I'm talking like you're not in the room, Mark, but have Mark be able to coordinate with Shelby to see if there's a better day during that week so that we can make sure that we get him via Zoom. But doing it earlier than later gives the opportunity to have some really robust conversation. And then if we need another work session, then we could have another work session prior to the board meeting in December.
Okay.
I don't leave till the 3rd, so if we had any opportunity to do it before the 3rd.
We do.
We do. So we only need the four of us.
So either the first or the second, right? Okay, Shelves, can we start diving into that?
Yep.
What's that look like for your guys's?
I'm on.
The first would work for me.
Okay,
Second is problematic, but
okay.
What's the day of the week?
It's a Monday, the
that's a
first.
Monday.
Well, Monday's
Monday
good.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm on the first and the second, so.
you're on first and second. First,
Good.
first. Steve?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna be off, but I will be here.
You're the new survey.
Listen, I will be here. So,
Wow.
I'm off as well,
but I will make, this is a priority, so I will be here. That's perfect. The first works great for me, and I will hit back, a question for you that I have. What are your thoughts on having Clackamas's interagency committee, which is just Director Haas and Director Searing, attend that work session as well?
Yes.
Does that sound good to you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, great. So
We can have better off we're gonna be.
I love that. What time works best for, obviously with work for you, probably a little bit.
I'll make it work, whatever time works for us.
So I'm open all day long as a Steve. So what would work best for you guys?
Thinking,
Yeah, late afternoon would probably work better for me, but I'll make it work, whatever. I'm
Perfect.
just kind of tied up in the morning.
Okay, that's great. 3? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
that was easy.
That was totally easy.
We're doing that here?
Yes,
We'll send an invite right now and just assume.
And if
Searing and Haas. Yep,
they can't, we'll still move ahead.
yes. If Haas and Searing can't be there, we'll move forward.
And Steve will be there, right?
Yes. Perfect. Yep. Great.
Cool, thank you. All right, did you have anything else to report, or is that pretty much?
No, we talked a little bit about, strategy and approach it next time, and then what happened, this time, really,
Just voicing some of the frustrations we've all had with
Yeah.
misinformation, and
That was part of the
it's
conversation.
just.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
disturbing, and
It
I
was.
responded
You responded great.
occasionally, but.
Yeah.
You can't fight 10 more people who say you're wrong.
You can't, as long as the internet's available, people can say whatever they want with no consequence. They don't have to verify anything.
No,
just
they don't
say-
have to have any facts at all, they just,
Well, in fact, I think that for us, whatever is going back and other than just putting out information and responding back to, no, you're wrong. You'll never win.
No,
No,
You'll never, yeah, that's my belief.
you can keep going all night long with those and
Agreed.
it's never be right. Although the only thing I can say is that we did a whole heck of a lot better than the high school did.
oh, yeah, I mean, it's a 20, as it sits right now, and obviously the election is official, December 1st.
Yeah,
All votes have been counted to this point, they're just doing the recount probably would be my guess, Steve.
Yeah.
Um,
A spot check.
but you know, it's about a 22% difference, I think, between us and in the school.
it wasn't as horrible as it could have been, but.
Correct, about 169 votes, give or take, but difference 48.5 to 51.5.
I don't think, I mean, I think you and I have talked a little
Yeah.
bit about this, but I really don't think. I think there's a lot of things that were outside of our control and, one being the schools on there, but more than that, I think that all the media attention on our governor's, ODOT issues. It's just, people just wanted to vote no on
Yeah.
tax issues, and
Yeah.
I don't think if we would have had the most educational campaign
Yeah.
in the world. I'm not sure what difference it may have or may not have made, because
Agreed.
people's mindset were they're frustrated with tax issues in Oregon that have no relevance really. I mean, they do, but
Yeah.
they're really outside of our thing, you know what I mean?
Agreed.
If it's taxes, they just want to say no.
Yeah, and I can't say that I blame them with some of the stuff that's going on.
I understand the concept, I really do.
Yeah.
None of us want more taxes, but just so much misinformation.
Yes.
I don't know how people think that government gets funded. It's like, how come they keep coming to us for money? Well, where else is it gonna come from? I think you get your roads and your schools and
But
your.
I think what's the thing that's coming up on it is, I'm not speaking for, maybe I am trying to speak for the average Oregonian out there is proportionally, it's that, yeah, we've all been hit by different things, okay?
Yep.
But the trend has been in the last few years, what we called is then we just put more back into these different deals. And sitting back from a business side, I haven't been able to, okay?
Yeah.
Is that, I don't know if I'm making sense or not, but it's, at some point in time, hey, enough's enough, you just can't keep going back and raising it. How do you work within your budget that's there,
That's right.
right?
Government does not have a good reputation for managing their budgets very well.
Fiduciary responsibility.
Yeah, of all levels, and
Yeah.
so people are frustrated with that, and so we're seeing the consequences of that. It may have it's nothing that I think we did, actually, I think in kind of the time frame that we dealt with this in, I think we did really good,
Agree.
so I'm not disappointed at all. I
Yeah.
think it's, all those factors were out of our control, and, it's just the mindset people are in right now, and
Agree.
probably for some good reason.
I think also to your point, we learned a lot. We learned a lot as an organization, and we learned a lot of where we thought we were doing a really, really good job communicating well with the community. We've heard them, and we've heard them that, number one, they think that we're Clackamas County. They don't recognize that we are a special district, just like Sandy Fire is a special district.
Yeah.
Another thing that I heard from the community is that they believe that Sandy Fire District is the city of Sandy. They don't recognize truly the governance and what makes up Sandy Fire. I also learned from the community that they didn't necessarily realize that Clackamas Fire was their service provider.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of really good information that we heard from the community. We heard from the community that they didn't necessarily understand fully what a yes vote meant.
Yep.
And what they would get. And so there's things like that were really great opportunities for us to rethink our messaging strategy as far as long-term 10, 15 years down the road of how to communicate with our community here and how to communicate with our community in Oregon City and how to communicate with our community in Boring right? There's a bunch of different strategies of making sure that we are constantly staying up to pace with how to message each individual community that we're blessed to serve. So,
Each community really has some vastly different issues and,
agree.
that's, you know.
Yeah.
We need to, I guess, figure out how to hone in on our particular situation here as opposed to anybody else's and.
Totally agree.
Well, rural voters, I think in general are gonna be more conservative voters in terms of tax issues and,
Yeah.
you know, that's just something we face, but I think the fire service has got a good reputation and good name. We need to keep that.
Great.
And,
Well, that's a positive thing, really, that people thought very strongly that Sandy Fire had been doing a really good job. What they don't understand is that Clackamas.
Actually, Phil, Sandy has, up until it, Phil let us hear.
Yeah.
You got it, right?
That's right.
That was bad.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, I get it.
I think,
I think too, you know, I don't follow much social media because to me, it's just a bunch of hot air from people, but, I think that, that there's a few people that want to be just rebel rousers. Some people showed me some things, but it's just a very few people. But the problem is people that don't know any better, just, they believe what they read all the time.
Yeah.
And that's just the society we live in today. You can say anything you want, it's so unfactual. And people, there's a percentage of people that just think, oh, he said that, it must be true, you know, they have no idea. And so, you know, how we combat that in the future, yeah, I think we can do a better job, maybe educating the public. We're always gonna have those few people.
you're always good.
No matter what you do.
I think Director Fox came up with it is walk into this with, if this were to happen, this is the plan of what would happen.
Yeah.
Right, on it and go out there and say, and here's, again, there's a cost factor to it, right? But again, with this plan, this is what you're going to get.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
You could also throw a little bit, if you don't do it, in a couple of years, here's what's gonna happen.
Well, let's let's
I mean,
say,
I've been tempted to go that direction, but
let's say we didn't do anything and we continued our contract.
Yeah.
It doesn't, at some point, we are not gonna be able to, our tax rate is not gonna keep up with inflation for what it costs to run service.
Yeah.
So that's gonna go, it's gonna go up one way or another.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're not gonna have the service levels people would expect or want. So it's kind of, I think that's an important message for people to understand.
Yeah.
You know,
You're on point.
so. But I felt defeated like the rest of us, but I also felt like, you know, it was close. And I think in the kind of the gamut we were dealing with all the issues that had so much media attention, I think we did really good.
Yeah, it's a good perspective. I appreciate you saying that.
thank you. Helps a little bit with all the frustration that everybody feels. Okay, I guess we're up to you, Chief Branson. What have you got for us?
First, I really appreciate the opportunity that I get, to talk, starting with the interagency and then now with the board. I have so much pride being your fire chief and, Monday night or Tuesday night, Wednesday night, whatever, those, the 4th, November 4th, Tuesday. There was a flood of emotions. The first emotion was because the first ballot measure we saw was Gladstone, and that passed at almost 74%. And so it was a feeling of elation, like awesome. And then there was, okay, what's Sandy's? And then it was, oh, right. And I felt like I let the board down. I felt like I let the community down, and I felt like I let our team down. And what's special about the fire service, what's special about the elected officials, is that we have the same purpose, and we want to make sure we do the best thing for the community. We want to make sure that we offer the best level of service for people when they call 911, because it's on their darkest day. They don't get a choice. They call 911, and right now it's Clackamas Fire that comes to provide services for them. They don't get to pick up and look at the yellow pages and say, I want Clackamas Fire, I want Estacada Fire, I want Tualatin Valley, I want Portland, or I want Sandy. They just get who's the closest to respond. And time matters. And so much about this belief is being able to get more resources on the ground. so that we can get that time pendulum back in our favor. Because the only thing that we have in our favor to save lives is getting that time curve back in our favor. And so I just appreciate the trust that you have in me as your fire chief. I'm honored to be your fire chief. I am sorry that the results were what they were, and I'm sorry to the Sandy community that that there's a lot of unanswered questions as far as who their service provider is, because I have great pride in being their fire chief. And so I'm looking forward to that opportunity to be able to redeem myself and let them know and educate who their fire chief is. Because when Phil retired, it was a huge shoes to fill. Everybody knew Phil. And so I'm excited to be able to continue that legacy of them knowing who Nick Brown is, and that I'm their fire chief, and the desire that I have for their safety. And so I just appreciate your trust, and so I'll stop talking about that. Couple highlights from the district. Number one is I've talked a lot about Clackamas Fire's partnerships with the National Guard or federal partnerships, things that we're really looking at, thinking outside the box to help us to be prepared for whether it's a wildfire or swiftwater rescue event or whatever incident we might face. CRO, Community Resilience Officer Morgan, ran an exercise with our internal incident management team where we did a simulated hazardous material leak from a heavy rail accident, a derailment. Okay. And what that was is it was a test for our internal incident management team. And what our internal incident management team is, when there is a major incident, Camp Creek and Sandy, we, in the incident command system, we set up an incident management team to oversee the incident, make sure the right resources are there. It's a command structure. And so we went through this drill, but not only did we go through this drill, we actually made it to where it was game time. Shelby was the planning section chief. Dan Mulick, Chief Mulick, was the incident commander on it. And we filled all the positions, but what Morgan did was he brought in coaches from the federal teams, from the state teams, from all over to come in and not only help coach, to give us active criticism on where we're succeeding and where we can improve, but to also participate. We had 32, no, that's not right. That was the next piece. We had members from the National Guard there. We had DEQ there. We had federal type 1 teams there. And we had multiple agencies from Portland Fire, Tualatin Valley Fire, just to name a couple, that participated in this incident. And it just shows how, as an individual, you can do good things, but as teams, you do great things. And that's what Clackamas Fire is about. We get outside of ourselves. We expose our underbelly to show, hey, where can we succeed, or what are we doing good, and where can we improve? And so really awesome exercise. And we ran it as a type 3 incident, because that's what our incident management team is, a type 3 with the transition to the type 1 team. And so huge successful incident. We have another one scheduled for the spring. And I would love to tell you what it is, but I can't, because it's a surprise for the incident. And there's members within that are here right now that are part of that team that I know what the incident's going to be, and so does CRO Morgan. But it's just one of those ways to be able to help us be better prepared. Building up to that incident, we hosted for the first ever in the region. We called it the Chiefs Course, is what it was called, from Pacific and Amtrak. It's the first time they've done it here. And it was basically training on initial response actions for heavy rail incidents. So that was the hands-on training and then we ran a full-fledged incident. And what was really awesome about that is we had members from 32 agencies attend that at Station 5 in Happy Valley. And it was a very successful 3 days. And yeah, it's just one of those other ways that we're trying to lead from the front here with how we are preparing for our communities for the emergencies that we inevitably will face. Think outside of that, I'm going to turn some time over to Captain Trevor Cooper to just give us a little bit of operational update.
Please. For this last month, out of station 71, 3 and 4, we've run a combined total of 207 calls, and then for the year, it's almost 2,000 calls for service. This last month, we've had 4 significant incidents that I can think of off the top of my head, which the biggest one would be the Buxton Meat Fire off of Dunn Road. And we've had a couple other task forces that fortunately didn't escalate into a full residential fire or more. And the last thing I wanted to talk about on Stone Chief that I've noticed a couple times on my shift at least that we've had multiple times where we've had 3 and 4 simultaneous calls happening within 71 4s and 3s planning zone where we've been able to address these calls with both the engine and the rescue and the assistance of engine 3 and 14. So. Some pretty much.
I love you bring that up, right? Because that's what this is about. Yeah. That's what this is about.
Yep.
So thanks for doing that. Be happy to answer any questions to Trevor or myself, if you have any. Thank you.
I think, Chief Peters, you're up next.
Thank you. Sue, congratulations on your hard fought fight to keep your position.
It's really hard.
She does work at it hard.
And then the other thing is I wanted to share the sentiments that the chief shared. I feel the same as he does. I really feel like I let folks down and the performance wasn't what it should have been, but that's the past. But what I do want you to know is it doesn't change any of our commitment to this community, to this fire district. And I know I speak for the guys that work out here. It doesn't change the thing that we did. We're still gonna provide that great service and all that while we work with the board to decide what next steps are. So we'll be here waiting and ready to do whatever next steps are. So with that, just a lot of community events, a lot of community meetings, still doing all of that. Trevor took my call volume, so we can't speak about that one. And then we did trick or treat trail, and then we hosted, I think, 3 schools so far, kindergarten classes coming through to look at things and try on Phil's turnouts because they fit them. No, so, you're sitting. So, happy to answer any questions, before I give what we've all been waiting for, Mark's report.
Well, one thing, I mean, I really don't want you guys to think we let anybody down. I really do. I think we did a good job. You know, it's a very short time frame that you guys have been in here, so. You know, in my past experience, we contracted with cities for the last 15 years. They still don't know who the provider is. So, I just want you to know.
This isn't new.
No, it's not. And, you know.
So, you know, again, we were talking, we initially went off, had that polling done, and then not just the chief, all of us like, oh, it's a slam dunk. Okay, so we all just coasted up on that. And obviously that was not the case, right? So. And again, it's not bad. We've said people vote, right? And now it's time to get out there and we can look at it again. Yeah.
I think that, you know, based on the circumstances we have, I think everybody did what they could do at this point. It's just,
Yeah.
this isn't the same as Gladstone or, you know, Boring or any of the others. It's a different game and you learn each time that there are different things to consider. And sometimes you don't know what they are until you find out that people didn't really understand them.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we all tried.
Yes.
Just, but try again.
Yeah.
All right. So would you like to go on to your financial part here?
Absolutely. I had more of a report than Mark submitted, but he said mine was garbage and I needed to go off of his. So he just has two points to talk about. Interest rates on the LGIP accounts fell from 4.6 to 4.4 over the last months. And rates he predicts are going to continue to fall, but still should match or exceed the budget projections that we've made. The second thing is last month, the county reported the annual assessed value growth for local governments. Out here for Sandy, we came at 4.7% growth, which is well beyond what we had expected, and we actually budgeted and we assumed 3.5%. So that's been exceeded and should produce about approximately $60,000 in additional revenue for the district. In this budget.
Can I add one piece of that?
Yeah.
And just to a reminder, we had the similar thing as far as assessed valuation on our side as well. The county gives us projections in May and so for Clackamas Fire's projections, it was 2.75 to 3.25. And I believe Sandy's was 3.5 to 4. So we took the conservative side, and then it exceeded that to be influenced. So sweet. So,
We should see a big influx of money for the next report, hopefully. I hate my taxes, so I'm.
There you go.
hoping that a lot of them be willing as well.
Yeah, and so that's the end of that report. I'm happy to pass on any of your questions to Mark.
You don't want to answer it.
He's not gonna fight.
I don't wanna make it look bad. I don't want another John.
Not your thing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right, folks. Yeah, correspondence and stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot your basically, well, let's do it. You don't have a uniform on. so-
I know, well, this is unexpected, so,
Yes.
All right.
Put in last minute.
well, good evening, so I'm gonna do the report for the volunteer, for the month of October. Station 7-4 was staffed 24 out of 31 nights, and they responded to 8 incidents during the month. ODF, at 7-4 had the contract during the day, due to the ending of the fire season, they were 15 out of the 31. So they've, their personnel was demobbed and went back to Molalla. Rehab unit was dispatched, which again on greater alarms, 9 times with 9 responses. They made 5 to the scene. Water tenders were 6 dispatches, 6 responses and 6 arrivals.
nice.
Were you driving one of those?
We events for the month were open house, station 7, 1, 22, and station 6. Again, we participated in the station 7, 1 trick or treat trail. Great turnout. Weather was a little wicked. I mean, you were that day, right? No, we had a windstorm come through. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys were around, but we had a windstorm come in. And people were freaking, and we opened the big bay doors and everybody came in, it was full. The bay doors over there, but full until the storm passed. So it was pretty cool. But that was fun. Station 22, the Goblin Gathering volunteer training for the month. We did winter weatherization at Station 7-4. And ESO training, SCBA fit testing and mass testing, high performance CPR airway management. Did some hose work, one of the nights, and then, I can't think of his name, what's the new wellness? Man, he's awesome.
Art.
We had the new wellness came and did a prevention to back injuries, but we did physical for like 2 hours. That's probably the best I felt in a long time. It hurt while we were doing it. We did a lot of rolling and stretching muscles that obviously I haven't found in a while, but it was he's pretty amazing guy, but we had a good time. Everybody took it hard, and I think we had like 20 some that night, so that was a lot of fun. Let's see, academies, they started a new academy for the suppression support and explorers for the year is underway. We have 30 people starting training during the month of October. 12 future station 7-4 suppression. And let's see, there'll be 3 support. So that'll be the rehab or the water tender, and 6 on explorers. We have 6 returning and 9 new explorers.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's all hanging in there. I'll never say his name. I can't think of his name. It's Forrest Pride. We had one Inaki. Thank you. Super nice guy. He last year took some time off and went to Antarctica for a firefighter's position. And he's gonna do it again. So he resigned this month. He didn't know if he was gonna make this, but might be making this a career over there. But it takes a special person to go to Antarctica. That's just,
So if you remember, Naki was the first, when we did the first joint volunteer academy between Sandy and Clackamas. He came through on that, he came through on the support side.
Yeah.
And then he got the bug and
Jumped-
so he jumped over to the suppression side, and then now he's full time in the Antarctica
Yeah.
fighting fire.
yeah, so pretty cool,
Pretty cool.
but nice guy. And that's it, unless, answer any questions.
Well, we'll be involved in the upcoming Christmas parade and holiday parade and then
That's right.
all that fun stuff.
Santa.
We doing Hop Santa, and then we're hosting, obviously, the food, donations and.
It's the prop Santa.
Out here is the 12th is the parade, and then the 13th is the collection the next day.
I'll be running that one.
Love it.
Yay.
Yeah,
Love it, love it,
hope
love
it
it.
doesn't rain.
Yeah.
It always does.
I know it did last year because you guys were all hiding underneath. Cool,
Sue, if I could have one small go back.
absolutely.
Just a quick heads up, for December's meeting. Division Chief Brent Olson will be giving a wildfire, update. Talking about, last year, this upcoming season, and, just updates on the crew and just overall updates on the wildfire program.
Cool.
So he'll be here for December's, regular. meeting.
People have a lot of questions about that stuff, so it'll be good to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, love it.
All right, have I missed anyone else here? No? No? All right, well, it looks like our next board meeting will be on December 17th at 5 o'clock, right here. Now, the motion to adjourn.
To wrap things up, get out of here.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil, for filling in.
That's good.
How's work going?
Yeah.